Hey, this is Russ. I'm back out on the road again. Yeah, I dropped off the Area 13 Blackbird and picked up the Vanpowers Maniday. Yep, we're still in the process of running down the batteries to about a 70% level. Now this bike, I think this bike was able to get me, 23 miles, something like that, on a full charge. So I'm going to say I need to do about 9 miles on this bike. And then I can call it lowered at that point. They're doing some type of construction stuff on that path, so I'm going to get off of it. What time is it right now? 1:52. Now the weather should be around 70 degrees or so right now. 70, 71 degrees. And just like I did when I had the ride with the Blackbird, which you probably saw on another day, I have layered up clothing. I've got the lightweight UV protection long sleeve shirt on. That thing's really light. And then I have a regular polo shirt, tennis shirt, golf shirt, whatever you want to call it, over that. Then I have this black sweatshirt on, hooded sweatshirt. And then I have my vest on, long pants, riding gloves, regular gloves, no hat, just a helmet. I have my lights blinking on my Ex-Nito helmet. So yeah, we're just riding around again, just around the various neighborhoods. Can't go too far because I'm only doing a few miles and then I got to bring it back. So I go as far as I can that I feel is reasonable, head back. Yep, fall season is here. If you take a look at the trees, yeah, we got yellows, greens, reds, yeah, a variety of different trees. I know some neighborhoods are even nicer looking. Oh, here's an interesting looking tree. Let's turn on this. Take a look at the one here as we turn. Look at this tree, yellow and orange. That's a good one. Yeah, fall season gives us things to see, but man, what a cleanup we got to deal with. It seems like our trees always come down, all the leaves that we have. We don't have lots of trees, but it comes down, and then you try to get rid of those, move it to the curbside. The city picks it up on specific days. But then other trees in the neighborhood haven't come down yet. So of course, by the time they come down, they all blow onto your property again. Then you got to do it again. So sometimes you just wish it all comes down at the same time. We all deal with it at the same time we're over with. I just ran over a branch there. So yeah, that doesn't happen. It comes in spurts. Some trees, they don't even come down after the final pickup. Their stuff is still up there. Then you got to bag it. See, the way our neighborhoods are, you rake it to the street on the curb. You rake it to the curb on specific days. Then the guys come by and they do a collection. They just pick it all up, right? And once it's past that time, then you got to put it in those garden type bags. You know, those tall paper bags. That's a real hassle. Nobody wants to do that, but we've done it. Sometimes we have no choice because by the time your neighbors' trees and stuff and on the block come down, it's all blown onto your side, so you have to do it again, so it goes into the bags. So this year, as you probably know, I had hired he's a senior in high school now. I hired a kid to help me paint my fence. Remember that? Fence painting kid? I asked him before he was finished if he wanted to help me do the leaves this year. He said, sure. So I says, okay, I'll contact you when the time comes. We'll see if he's still interested. If he's willing to come back out. He doesn't live that far. And see if he's willing to come back out and he'll help me with the leaves again. He didn't do it last time. He helped me once. I paid him extra for it. We had to cut down the bushes and things like that, so he helped me with that. So I told him, I says, yeah, it'd be basically the same thing. You know, we got to trim all that stuff back down, scoop up all the leaves, bring it to the street side, maybe have to bag some, who knows, you know. The only thing is you don't want to do it too early because you know you're going to do it again. So you kind of want to wait, but sometimes you have to kind of do it just to kind of get rid of some of the stuff off the property. So the Maniday, the Vanpowers Maniday, this is actually a pretty nice bike. It's got lots of torque. It's got essentially the same amount of torque as the Magicycle. It's 85 Newton meters of torque. It came in third on our hill climbing test. But the interesting thing is you know, 1, 2, and 3 only got those positions because they were off by 0.5 miles per hour. You know, in all honesty, that's really essentially the same. It would have been in this order sequence: the Magicycle Ocelot Pro came in first, the Magicycle Cruiser came in second, and then this one came in third. And you're only talking about a half a mile per hour. So we're not talking. Whoops. Oh, okay, here we go. We're not talking lots of difference between them. It's just, you know, it kind of reminds me of Olympic swimming. The difference between first place and second place is just a touch, right? You're talking a fraction of a second. So is that guy really that much worse than the first place guy because he didn't reach his arm up a little bit earlier than the other guy? No, they're both great swimmers, right? Same thing with the bikes. They're all great bikes. Somebody asked me which bikes we were planning on removing out of the fleet, and so I gave them, you know, which ones I thought would probably be the next 2 to go. And yeah, they said they were surprised by one of them that I would be willing to give that one up. But, you know, I said, well, if I'm going to give one up, I might as well give up a good one to somebody. So I figured I'd put it up there. Now, it's not like I don't like that bike or anything, or these 2 bikes that I was going to offer. I kind of like all of the bikes that are still in the fleet right now. But if I had to make a decision, those would be the 2 that I would be willing to part with. For various reasons, right? Now, what about this Maniday? Well, it's missing a fender. Doesn't have hydraulic brakes, but I'll tell you this: 203 millimeter rotor makes up the difference. I mean, the pull is not the same as the pull of a disc brake, but man, this thing stops on the dime, even though it's a mechanical disc brake. Most of the rotors are anywhere between 160 to 180 millimeters. This one's 203. So they kind of made up for it by that. It's cheaper for them to do it that way too, quite frankly. And the calipers not being hydraulic, the line not being hydraulic, just putting the larger rotor makes a huge difference. And makes me wonder why other manufacturers just don't put 203 millimeter rotors on all of the bikes. I mean, it couldn't cost them more than $10, if that. Why not do it? And it makes your bike worth more in terms of stopping power. That's worth $10 your cost, manufacturer. I don't even think it costs the manufacturer that. It probably costs them less. Okay, maybe 10, because even if they got a deal, that'd be like $5 each, because you got 2 rotors. Yeah, okay, $10, $15 more. You know, charge the guy more a little bit for it. It's worth it. If you don't want to do a full hydraulic, put the bigger rotors on. That's what I would say to manufacturers. Put the bigger rotors on. It makes a big difference. And then the Maniday also offers a better derailleur. somebody had said, how come you don't tell us what the different derailleur qualities are? All right, like in the Shimano line, right? Shimano, what do they have? The Acera, they have the, what are the different model numbers? I don't remember the names of these things. Well, this one's third in the line. So you got the bottom of the line, I think that's called the tourney. Then you got the, what is the other one called? Something. And then there's the Acera. This is the Acera. So this is third in the line going up the line, okay? And you got better trigger shifters here. You got the Shimano trigger shifters. What we usually have is the ones that are way up on top with the thumb thing up here. Those are not the greatest. These are a little bit better. So yeah, they give you a little bit better stuff in that sense. But yeah, it's missing fenders and it's missing hydraulic brakes. Well, you can't do much about the hydraulic brakes unless you buy another set of hydraulic brakes. But I did ask them about the fenders, and they said they are working on fenders right now for this bike, and they promised that they would send me the fenders once they're done. So I told them, I said, if you give me the fenders, I'll do another video to kind of show people what the fenders look like when they're on the bike, right? Well, by the time this thing comes out, it might be so late that I may not be able to do that. I could do it in the house, I guess. I could just kind of record it in the house and show it to you. But, or in the garage or wherever. But I wouldn't be able to show it on the bike as it's riding or anything like that. Because by the time it's finished, it'll be too cold for me to go out to ride. But at least they said that they promised that they would send me one once it's finished. So, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, how are we doing for mileage here? Let me turn over here on the path. Four miles. We've ridden 4 miles already. All right, well, let's do at least 8. All right, we got to do at least that much to lower the battery a little bit. Yeah, do that to your bikes. If you haven't done it yet, do it. Okay. Get out there, do whatever. If you can't do that, lift up the rear tire and let it spin. Let it spin with your throttle. You got to lower that battery down before you store it for the winter. Drop it down to 70% or so, something like that. Yeah, you can hear the whining in the tires, right? Because these are big fat tires. You could hear it riding on the road. Now, as you know, we have the Magicycle commuter bike that they gave me, and then all my other bikes are big fat tires. And I would say that the big fat tires definitely have rolling resistance. I can't really ride these bikes very well without the motor helping me. It's kind of hard. I did ride this one. I think I rode this one 1 mile because when I was doing the range test, I ran out of battery power. Had to ride about 1 mile to get back home without any motor. That was a tough ride, I'll tell you that right now. I think if I had the commuter bike, had to ride that mile, it wouldn't have been so bad. I mean, still, you'd be more tired because you're pedaling, but it's like pedaling a regular bike, really. It's not that much different. All right, so this guy's letting me go, so I'm gonna go. Yeah, I mean, you're talking 1 1/4 inch tire width versus 4-inch fat tire. Yeah, that's gonna move a lot easier. So that's one of the reasons why I like that commuter bike so much, is because it's a lightweight frame. You know, what was it, 43 pounds? You know, when people ask me, you know, I'm looking for a bike that's under 50 pounds. There you go. But it's not going to be like these big fat tire bikes. It's going to be like a regular styled bike with a battery and a motor in it. Okay. And because that thing only had a, 350 watt motor, 7 amp hour battery, I can do 22 miles based on my heavy weight. Doing pedal assist 1 and 2, I could do 22 miles on that that bike. It would be less if you did pedal assist level 3, of course. But I don't know how much less. I'm going to have to do that test next year. I'm going to spend my time doing some other stuff once these batteries are done. So we'll find that out next year. It'll be less than 22 miles, I'll tell you that, if you do it, because you're using a higher assist level. But, you know, for a big guy like me, to get 22 miles out of that kind of bike, you have to pedal. There's no throttle. It's a class 1 bike. It's fine. I'm able to do it. Right now, I've been throttling most of this ride because I'm trying to wear out the battery. I'll pedal every now and then just for the sake of pedaling, but I'm trying my best to get rid of the battery power, and the fastest way to do that is just to throttle it. So yeah, the weather is still decent right now. It took me a while to get out here, but the last ride I did, it was on a Sunday, then I went out on Friday. I took out the Area 13 bike, and then today's the same day on Friday. Now I'm on the Mana Day, the Vanpower Mana Day. Try to get these 2 bikes done today. That then leaves me with, actually I have one more bike I didn't mention. I've got to lower the level on the Rad Mini Step Through 2, which is my wife's bike. I got to lower that one. I've got to lower the Magicycle Ocelot Pro. And then I got 2 batteries on the Magicycle Cruiser, the 15 amp hour one and the 20 amp hour battery. So, yeah. Once all that stuff's done, then I can start doing whatever I want again. Now, I am still waiting for second batteries for the Jaguar Rundy and the Ocelot Pro, and Magicycle still says to me that they are planning on sending it to me. The only thing is by the time they give it to me, I won't be able to go out and ride. I don't know why it's taken so long, but I think one of them is stuck on the shipment or something, on the ship. It's kind of like, okay, it's out there and floating in the water somewhere. And then they got to inventory it into the warehouse in California, and then they can ship it out. And I don't know about the other one, but yeah, he still tells me that we're still planning on sending it to you. I need those batteries for next year. I may not need it so much for this year, but I want to get them in this year, so I know that I can plan out what I'm planning to do next year, because then I know for sure we have batteries to do it with. To be able to take you guys further, instead of riding the same streets over and over like we're doing right now, I need those batteries. All right. So thank you to Magicycle for doing that. I had to move my cameras, my audio cable out of the way. Just getting kind of caught up on it. Yeah, thank you to Magicycle for still considering sending it to me, because I really do need it, so we can do more things with their bikes next year. All right. And whatever's left of this year. Okay, now, today and for the next several days, we have some decent weather. And then it's going to start getting cold again. But, you know, last year, weather kind of went up and down. It was hot and then cold and hot and then cold. I was able to go all the way till December. Yeah. Like a week or so before Christmas or something, I was still able to go out riding. I don't know about this year. Some of the reports were saying that this year is going to be a little bit tougher. It'll be a colder winter. Others have said it'll be the same as last year. I don't know. I don't know who to trust. Can't trust anybody when they talk about the weather. Everything changes, right? There's a lot of variances. But, you know, if the weather is still decent, I'll be going out. If it's not, then, hey, maybe we're stuck inside again. Now, a couple of you guys have told me that you plan to ride through the winters. Okay. Let us know how it goes for you. All right. Now, I think some of them might not be living in, you know, heavy snow area, but still cold areas. So I know a lot of you guys have already wintered up. You've bought clothing to combat the weather, which is good. They encourage me to do the same, but nah. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'll just go as far as I can go, and then that'll be it. So I have mentioned before, 50 degrees is typically where I have my cutoff. I actually don't prefer to go out at 50 degrees. I'm just saying that at worst case, I can probably do 50 degrees because it's the wind. The wind blowing up against you is actually colder than 50 degrees, even though the ambient temperature might be 50. So they said, well, get some gear and, you know, pad up more. Nah, I'm big looking enough on it. I don't need to be padded up even bigger. So, I'm good. I can only do what I can do. All right, this one will be a little bit shorter one. I'm gonna say my goodbyes to you guys. I'm gonna pick up a bike tomorrow. Go back out again tomorrow, and hopefully get some ride time in, and then hopefully Sunday too, if I'm able. Try to ride out on a little bit on Sunday as well. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys next time.